Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Tavern Talk. It'll be episode 25. Okay, we are on to play the DLC. Uh-oh. Which save is it? They're both the same, It's fine. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's go. All the emotions. What do we get today? No more jackdaw. It's Bear. It's Archie. Hi. Hello. Innkeeper, it's good to see you. You too, Archie. Are you doing well? Very well, in fact. I was just enjoying an extensive lecture on the moon swamp's native flora. Bayer even asked the cattail some questions for me. They think we look delicious too. Did you know that? That's not concerning at all. Were you doing research for your next book? No, just catching up with friends, which reminds me of an important question. How are you, friend? I'm a bit tired. Let's go with I'm a bit tired. Oh, perhaps one of your own drinks could help with that. Or a good night's rest. Yeah, true. Perhaps, but I've been up all night reading Sense and Sensibilities and Zombies. You really outdid yourself there. Oh my god, that's the book about his friend's death? That's crazy. I'm somewhat happy to hear I'm keeping you up. I'm looking forward to your review. Millie! Quest taken. Good day. I shall be taking this quest, Innkeeper. I put it out just for you, Millie. Excellent. A quest? What quest are you taking? The puzzle one? Precisely. There's a puzzle to solve? Yes, sort of. I'm currently following the case of the mysterious, ancient, magical and fantastical mechanism. So far, I only found one piece of it, but it might lead us to another, which I should really find because I might have released some sort of angry fire spirit from the first piece. And it burned down some parts of the sleeping forest, which is not ideal. Yeah. I want to get back inside the mechanism so it doesn't burn anything else down. I'll get it back. But first I need to understand how the thing works. Uh-oh, language. It's like a puzzle. I see. If I figure out the puzzle in the mechanism I broke, then I can fix this. That sounds responsible. You didn't break anything, Melly. All she did was open it or unlock it. I don't know if it can. Oh dear. Get put back together though, that's the thing, right? Can it be put back together? I'll just say that's responsible. It is. I'm also a bit scary. And also it's a bit scary. What if it's unfixable, you know? Sometimes things can't be put back together to how they were before. But Neil says it doesn't have to be a bad thing. When I accidentally broke his favourite cereal bowl, he helped me put it back together with his magical golden glue. And he said he likes it better now because I fixed it for him. Oh, that's so cute. Super cute, actually. So, I'm going to fix this too. If all else fails, we'll just have some golden glue. Exactly. Where are you going to look for this puzzle piece? Are you going back to the Highlands? No, the quest says that Bayer's friend saw a piece not unlike my mechanism in underwater. Is that true, Bayer? It is. Mary said she saw it in the Coralfian Library. I love libraries. There won't be any fiery wizards in this one though, right? Doubtful. Libraries may be a wizard's natural habitat, but the one thing wizards value more than fire are their precious books. So they're typically a bit more careful in libraries. Sure hope so, especially if it's true that those books fight back. Maybe you should feed the wizards to the books. Huh? Not a bad idea, Bayer. It's a terrible idea. It's an excellent idea. I want to say it's an excellent idea. I love Bayer. I actually will actually support Bayer's rights and Bayer's wrongs at all times. You are all certifiably insane. If you meet the books, you should tell Mari all about them. She really wanted to see them. Wait, what if I came along? I could ask her and Banshee about the puzzle mechanism thing. And then I could tell them all about the books and Eton wizards. I really hope this library doesn't employ any wizards. Awesome! You can be my on-site correspondence and witness handler. It's perfect. We'll talk to your friends and then we'll investigate the library for clues and then we'll find more clues. And solve this mystery. That's crazy. It sounds like fun. Light adventure. It sounds like a fun light adventure. I don't know, Innkeeper. I don't know about that. Indeed. But before we go, I am missing 2 key ingredients. A drink and an assistant. With Neil away and Bayer already on witness duty, I'll need someone to take notes for me. And to bounce ideas off of Archie. Archie, we're looking at you, brother. Are you gonna join Melly and be her assistant? Archie, what are your plans for the day? Well, as you know, I no longer participate in active adventuring business, so I must pass on this promising opportunity. But I need an assistant, and you need inspiration for your sequel, right? Right. Well, Melly would be very sad. Inspiration doesn't come from sitting around, that's true. But he's worried about one of his good friends dying again. But we could just, push him. Push him into another adventure so he can watch another friend die. Oh, Archie. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. Inspiration doesn't come from sitting around. Get out there, take some notes, live a little. There is a large, very fun space between traumatizing, life-threatening adventures and no adventures at all. I have been struggling with writer's block lately. I'll be your assistant, but I'll keep it strictly to taking notes and good advice. Maybe bad advice too, so you don't miss Neil too much. Stop it! Neil doesn't give bad advice. I don't know about you, Archie. I'm not... I don't know about you. Why are you saying Neil gives bad advice? Neil gives great advice. For an assassin thief guy? I'll take it. We'll make a great team. As your assistant, may I raise a concern? Worry ahead. It's underwater. Isn't underwater? Underwater? Indeed. It completely sank during the Twilight Flood and hasn't risen since. The city is in a magic bubble. No water inside, except in bathtubs. But the bubble is underwater. And we'll teleport into the bubble via plants? No, I can't teleport underwater. Too salty. We can swim there. Is it far down? Really? Like 20 minutes? Right. We can't breathe underwater, Bear. Oh, I forgot. That's fine. What if we find a really long straw that we can breathe through? Or we ask a wizard to turn us into fish? Or maybe... Here, innkeeper, take this. What is it, Bear? It's a luminous algae from my swamp. It keeps my guests from drowning in the sensory deprivation bombs. Helps with breathing for those who need it. Oh, you can mix that in your drinks, right? I can certainly try. Thank you, babe. Now, you two pick out a drink. I have to go ask Voy to watch over my eggs while I'm gone. I'll pick you up at the blooming time. What is blooming time? Dawn, silly. Anyway, we'll take this magic luminous algae along with your best dexterity drink, innkeeper. That way we can sneak into the library undetected and begin our investigation without any disturbances. And we'll be quick about it too, so we'll have it solved before anything else bad can happen. Couldn't we just ask them to let us in? No, we have to be stealthy. You spend too much time with Neil? No, she doesn't spend too much time with Neil. Neil's awesome. Stop it. No such thing. I agree, Melly. All right, if we're being sneaky, shouldn't we also pack some defence in case any guards or books come after us? Great idea, my dear assistant. May I also make an alternative suggestion? Just this once. Just kidding, suggestions are your job. What about intelligence to help us solve this mystery properly? But I'm already pretty intelligent. Maybe it would give us a new perspective. Especially if this mechanism is ancient, we might need some extra brain power to comprehend it. But then we should add some strength so we can kick the asses of any guards or books we come across. And also, we need to pick up the mechanism. It might be heavy. And you know, neither of us are exactly regular gym goers. Exactly. I like both options. We need to breathe underwater, Innkeeper. But we should go with more smarts and strength, or speed and defense. Please help us. I think I'll go smarts and strength. I think I go smarts and strength. This one, smarts and strength, with the infusion. So that's the luminous algae with water breathing. Mossberry. Night at the library. Okay. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I think we go smarts and strength. Alright. Oh, yeah, smarts and strength. Okay, so the algae is a +2. Yeah, it's a +2 these to speed. Dang it. How do we smarts and strength? I don't think. Oh, that's smarts and strength. Silent owl. Silhouette lurking in the shadows will grant you slight edge and subtle natural predator. Yeah, I think. Don't think anything else is that. Oh, there's that one, cursed coffee. But it's not 3. And we want the 3 to here. So that's the underwater breathing. One there gives us 2 there. And then this one? No, this one. That should be the silent owl. Thank you, Undo. Pat, 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 pat. Sparkly eyes. Let's go. Intelligence for a detective seems self-explanatory. You're right, you can never be too smart. And now I have a mean right hook too, just like Linny. Well, a nice right hook. I don't want to be mean. I'll leave that one to Linny. I'm looking forward to hearing about your adventure. Don't get too wet. Let's go solve this case, Archie. On it, boss. So cute. Voy! Turn on the spotlight and bring out the applause, Innkeeper. I've returned to your tavern. What an honour. Great voyage. You look radiant. Are you here to help with the dishes? Do we be cheeky? Do we be cheeky? Kind of want to be cheeky. Well, no. But I mean, if you need help, I guess I could. And so fades the enthusiasm. Don't worry about it. Undo and Renu got it for me. Is this Renu? Is this little guy here Renu? Is that your name? I missed you, Innkeeper. I missed you too. How was the tour? Incredible! Hex and Aniko's pyrotechnic special efforts were insane. I've never felt so cool. And the special performances where Fable came along were overbooked at every single venue. It was spectacular. But I really could use a break now. So many people, so many autographs and questions. Everyone kept asking me to say my catchphrase. I didn't even know I had a catchphrase. What's my catchphrase? Prepare to be razzled dazzled. Your wink, it's me, Voyage, the music guy. I remember him saying that a lot. I don't remember these ones, but yeah, he does. They do wink. Okay, let's go this one. I don't think so. Or do you think that'd work? Sure. My advice is always solid, isn't it? You're all right. I'll try it out at my next stage show. Speaking of classics, can I offer you a classic drink, Voy? Actually, I'm craving something specific today. Do you have any of those honey flowers left? I think they're exactly what I need after weeks and weeks of constant chatting and belting. And maybe you can enchant my senses by adding some classic charisma to the mix. But I wouldn't be upset with something else either. I'll make sure your drink doesn't upset you. One moment. Alright, so we're going to go with the honey, and that is pluses to these guys here. Oh, it's just the honey one? Okay. Double checking. The crown and the... Oh, and... charisma. Charisma. Which one's charisma? Is this one charisma? Yeah, I think the crown is charisma. Sunny breeze. Yeah, this one. The crown is charisma. So we could do sunny breeze. Yeah, I think we go with sunny breeze. It has been decided. Okay. Then we need two. And this one. No, this one. Sunny breeze. Pat, pat, undo. Sparkly eyes. Prepare to be enchanted. I know your magic, but wow, your drinks never cease to amaze me. I'd give this a standing ovation if your seats weren't so comfortable. So, how's your break going? It's very relaxing. I decided to visit Bea at her spa, and it's been every bit as refreshing as I'd hoped it would be. You know, she gave me a bunch of her flower crowns for my concerts, so I could hand them out when I didn't know what to say. We spent last week making hundreds of new ones together, and now I'm babysitting her aunts while she's off to that underwater thing. Also, I brought you some of her coupons. I'll just leave them on the counter, alright? Of course, people loved them last time. I still don't want any of those. They sure did. I knew we could count on you. Are you going to stay a while? No, I need to get back to the ants. Just wanted to drop off the coupons and check in on you. Judging by how long it took me to get here, I shouldn't stay for too long. Did you get lost? Majorly. I'm not sure what's up, but the weather's being really weird. Like there's this growing layer of fuzziness that makes it really hard to see. Things do feel a little fuzzy. Oh, look at all the... It is fuzzy, actually. There's 2 moons in the sky. Is that Cassiopeia and the other dragon or something? Right? The wind's picking up too. It was so loud I could hardly think on my way over. Even the compass Scully got me went totally haywire when I tried to get back on track. So I had to rely on asking people for directions, which worked out, but you're exhausted. So exhausted. But I'll go through any storm to get to you, Innkeeper. And I'd shelter you from any storm, Voy. I better head out before you make my heart melt. Oh, that's so cute. Hang on tight to those coupons. What's going on with the... You got it. What's going on? Good night, Undo. Sweep, sweep. It's raining. Night at the library. I think we can keep going, actually. We'll start this day. It's looking pretty stormy out there, Renu. So there's still like these floaty lights around. Was it always like this, or am I just noticing it for the first time? We should make sure to keep the windows closed. Good morning, Olenda. Morning. What's going on out there? Great question. Are you going to answer it? Storm's pretty bad. Right, and... Orlando, you still with me? Sorry, long night and a bad headache. Could I maybe get a coffee? I don't think more coffee is what you need. How about something for that headache of yours? Maybe a tincture to smooth your mind a bit. Sure, I'll take that. Do. What are we gonna do? The weather. Melly's mysterious puzzle. Weather patterns seem to be changing, visibly dropping, and compasses are starting to fail. Nothing to worry about, surely. Surely. Something for the brain. Ooh, Sunrise Peak? Something for headaches? Inspiration, invisibility, haste, blessed. Do we go with blessed? None of these kind of increase the brain one. Oh, here's one. Gooseberry, invisibility. Oh, the Thunder Sage. Inspiration. Maybe we go Thunder Sage. Thunder Sage with a Sunrise Peak? Question mark. Where is it? This one? This one. Okay, then we got here. Now we've got this one. Sunrise Peak. Thanks, Undo. Pat. Pat. gentlest cure for headaches I have to offer. Thanks, I feel soothed. Want to try telling me about the storm again? Fine. I guess I owe it to you. Quite frankly, it's a nightmare. The storm is causing an alarming number of people to get lost. On one side, you have adventurers who think now is a great time to look for treasure or personal fulfillment. Some of them even want to fight the storm, which is a level of stupidity I previously thought impossible. On the other side, a whole lot of regular good people are in trouble too. They're wandering off the path deep into the Ashen Grove, unable to find their way out again. Compasses don't work at all anymore, and most people's sense of direction seems akin to that of stale bread. In summary, it's a mess. I recommend staying inside. Don't have to tell me twice. But that does sound quite strange. Strange is one word for it, bothersome is another. But what kind of storm do you think it is? No idea. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. Got any guesses yourself? It feels somewhat primordial, but maybe that's just the nature of strange storms in general. I certainly haven't gotten any divine visions from the Great Sea Serpent. Granted, he's been very quiet on that front ever since I retired. Primordial, huh? Figures. That explains the frogs. Sorry? The frogs? The frogs in the treehouse. The frogs in the what now? Sorry, I should have clarified. I'm talking about the adventurers who turned into frogs. I'm still lost. Blame the storm. I think I'd rather blame your lack of explanation. Fine. Some adventurers got tangled up in some strangling scrubs. I cut them out of there and agreed to lead them out of the grove. There were 4 of them, each more reckless than the last. It was a hassle leading them back, especially with all of those aberrations haunting the storm. Not to mention that the adventurers themselves seemed to lack any sense of perception whatsoever. They almost fell into a ravenous pit. Is that what turned them into frogs? No, what sort of ravenous pit turns people into frogs? When we were passing the boundary of the ancient forest, we ran into more of those aberrations. When we defeated them, they just turned into thick and surprisingly aggressive fog. Wait. And the fog attempted to engulf us entirely. I managed to fight it off, but the adventurers weren't so lucky. It went into their leader's eyes, which then turned a stormy purple, before she suddenly melted into water and got consumed by the storm. I lost sight of the rest as other aberrations started appearing, and when I found them again later, they had turned into 3 frogs. That's a fascinating side effect. What did you do with the frog adventurers? I picked them up, brought them to Fable's treehouse, made them a little water bath in the kitchen and locked them in there for now. That way they can't cause any trouble, and the windows keep the fog out well enough. Did you leave them some snacks? Of course. Excellent. So what are you going to do to get rid of the storm? Nothing. Do I look like an adventurer to you? Kind of, just less frog-like. We've still got plenty of bipedal heroes left. I'm sure one of them will take care of it eventually. No need to let it ruin my routine. I fear you might be underreacting. There are no falling stars this time. Things could be worse. There's still the primordial stars. They could float up. Let's keep it to one calamity at a time this run, Innkeeper. Anyway, I should check on those frogs. And make sure no one else got lost. Maybe let the people of Zenith know to stay inside. I'll inform the town crier if I can find one. Stay inside, Innkeeper. Only because you act so nicely. Oh dear. Oh, they're back. What's going on outside? Wait, what's happening outside? Hello, Innkeeper. Your brave researchers have returned. What's happening outside, actually? Hello. Good to see all of you unharmed and well. Have you added researcher to your resume, Melly? Precisely. I'm an expert professional big brain researcher now. At least, that's what Archie said. You did a phenomenal job. Thank you. So, I'm kind of triple classing now. Detective, thief, researcher. But to be honest, I'm already a bit tired of books and paper and saliva and teeth. So, I don't know if the researcher's life is for me. Hold on, why were there teeth in your research? Oh, they were so cute. Sounds like it'll be a longer story then. Is anyone in dire need of a drink before we begin? Yeah. I got you. What can I make for you today? So I can tell you all about adventure better. I think I know what to do. I don't know if I know what to do. Undo. Pat, pat. Usually appears to be in a state of constant annoyance. Aww. Okay. Crown, crown, crown. Sunny breeze is a crown. What else we got? Inspiration. A little bit of inspiration and a sunny breeze. Write it down on the ocean fizz. Wait, no. Clicked the wrong one. This one, sunny breeze. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. And a little bit of this one. It doesn't light up like it used to. Wait, what's happening? Sunny breeze. These things normally light up. It's all glowy. Was it like that before? Thank you, Undo. Pat, pat. Confusion. Fun little drink for the cutest little swamp witch. Oh, she loves it. I do. But now it's time to tell story. What's happening outside the window there? Tell it faster. I'm actually Very well. Strengthened by your drinks, we headed south through the moon swamp towards Mossberry until we could finally spot the sea. There was no city in sight, but we knew underwater wasn't far. Right as we left the swamp and our feet touched the water, the luminous algae did its magic. It formed enormous air bubbles around our heads. I was a bit skeptical at first. I've read about shipwrecks, countless drowned victims after all, but I pulled myself together. To write about life, one must experience it. Are the lights flickering on and off? What's happening? What's happening? So, I dove into the water headfirst, and what can I say? My head stayed completely dry. What fantastic magic, really. It looked a bit silly. The bubble adjusted to the size of his hat, not his head. Just the tip of his feather got a bit wet. Aww. Meanwhile, Mellie's bubble was big enough to fit her whole body inside. Because her legs didn't reach outside of the bubble, she couldn't swim on her own. But Bea managed to pull her along with ease. So, just like underwater did a little over a year ago, we slowly descended. While we were swimming, an unknown world came into view. Fish of all shapes, colours and sizes, swarms of glowing isopods and large monstrous creatures in the distance. The creatures didn't scare you. Oh, thought that was Melly there for a second. No, not at all. They didn't look very aggressive to me, curious maybe, but they kept their distance. And then we could finally see the gates of underwater. It was like a dream. No. Even in my wildest dreams, I couldn't have imagined the beauty of that sunken city. The travertine walls and marble pillars, the gentle magical light that illuminated the city, the dark ocean around it. The myriads of colour, sometimes even glowing sea creatures attracted by the light. So much more beautiful than any description I've read. What a wondrous place. And it's in the huge magic bubble. And there I thought my bubble was big. I'm so glad I decided to go with you on such a wonderful adventure. The words and inspiration for my next story flowed to me like gentle waves. I can't wait to write them all down. We entered the city through a huge, special magical seal that keeps the city dry. Melly was the only one of us with dry clothes, though. And I was so very excited to see the Banshee and the Mary Morgan. We quickly met up with them at the inn they were staying at to ask them about the exact location of the mechanism. I showed them my cool puzzle piece, and the Mary Morgan said it definitely looked like the one she saw in the library. I was so excited. I was so close to solving my puzzle. They told us the way to the Correliafin Library. And then we were ready to go. Oh, they didn't come with you? No. Apparently they had made reservations for dinner and dancing that night. And we didn't want to interfere with their plans. It was their vacation, after all. But we promised to update them later. After another short walk, we finally reached our destination, the Correliefan Library. But the whole journey had taken so long that we sadly missed opening hours. Maybe that was for the best. Looking for a puzzle piece in a library brimming with people is probably very difficult. I overheard a conversation between two guards saying that some researchers and security staff were still inside. They were trying to figure out the curse of the library. You know, the mysteriously injured visitors and moving inventory and so forth. And, well, all three of us have certainly had our fair share of adventures, spells and monsters. So I introduced myself to the staff and told them maybe we could be of help. As it turns out, they had actually read my books and heard that they were based on true events. And a swamp witch like me could offer even more possibilities for dealing with various curses. A cute swamp witch, if I might add. So, after our brief expert pitch, they actually allowed us in. After we made it inside, we only had to find the second piece of the mechanism, and maybe also help those poor librarians figure out what kind of curse they were dealing with. Have you ever visited the Correliefan my dyslexia. The Correliefan Library Innkeeper? Yes, but it's been some time. Not yet, unfortunately. Let's go with yes. Underwater hadn't sunk yet. I bet a lot has changed. You should really visit it again sometime, Innkeeper. I don't think they'd let me in again. I'll make a mental note to ask about that another time. The light polished marble and organic wood made for such a perfect combination. All those arches and tall bookshelves that towered above us, mere mortals. And the highlight of the whole structure was the sundome. The sundome? The central part of the library is covered by a gigantic glass dome that fills every nook and cranny with warm sunlight. It's really cool, but it also made me feel very small. When we got in, one of the staff members saw us looking around in awe. She told us they added the dome for better lighting and to instill a sense of normalcy into such an abnormal location. It's also a rather new addition to the library. I found it a bit strange that the renovations seem to have finished just before the first reports of the alleged book hauntings. Renovation, smenovation, I really wanted to find the second puzzle piece. So, while Archie talked to librarians, Bear and I started very unsuspiciously looking for the mechanism thingy. We followed the Mary Morgan's description to a T and even found the mildly wet pillow where it was supposed to be displayed on. But it wasn't there. It was frustrating, as if someone deliberately snatched it away right before we could get to it. At that point, I was still talking to the staff. One of them introduced herself as a researcher of ancient spells and magic. And the more we talked, the clearer it became that my suspicion of the correlation between the renovations and the curse was well founded. Meanwhile, it got darker and darker in the library as the sun was slowly setting. Of course, mere darkness wouldn't stop me from searching the whole library. Never underestimate Vukakin's night vision. Up until that point, I had tried to always keep her in sight, but I kind of lost her in the darkness. I really wish I had better eyesight. I was rummaging through the bookshelves and the books themselves. I mean, the puzzle piece had to be somewhere, right? But when I tried to move a particular old and heavy leather book, I suddenly felt a sharp pain in my finger. Did the book bite you? Yes, rude, right? Very. It had dozens of long razor-sharp teeth and was nibbling on my finger. Her scream echoed through the whole library. We rushed over to her instantly. But when they arrived, the book had already let go of my finger and fled to a hidden nook. Kind of like it was scared. I told them what had just happened. I feared they wouldn't believe me, but instead I saw a look of realization dawn on my assistant Archie's face. It suddenly all made sense. It was as clear as day that the library wasn't dealing with a curse, not in the slightest. Instead, they were dealing with mimics. I don't think I've ever seen anyone proclaim that word so happily before. Well, it was my first time actually seeing one in the wild, though I would have expected them to look more like treasure chests or doors. But of course, in an environment like that one, books make so much more sense. The staff said they'd never had any issues with rodents or other small animals, so that means the mimics must have been living in the library for quite some time. I'm guessing years, if not decades. But all of the reports of visitors getting bitten, books moving, are pretty recent, right? The staff asked the same question. But luckily Archie here is a mimic expert. Well, they appear in almost every adventure novel, so I guess my knowledge just accumulated naturally. You see, Innkeeper, some subspecies of mimics are nocturnal. They absolutely despise light. So, a dark, moody place like a library is perfect for them. Oh, and when they put the sun up, that made it not dark and moody anymore. Unless some people decided to add a huge glass dome and let in more light. It's not like all mimics are aggressive by nature. They're just scared. And of course they were. They don't do well with change and had recently lost their safe home to one with far more light. And if that wasn't enough, the visitors were also picking them up regularly. That's super stressful. If I were a mimic, I would also start biting people. Honestly, I felt really sorry for them. And so did the staff. But we still needed a solution for the biting issue, obviously. While they were discussing all of that, I could still hear the mimic that bit me shuffling in the corner. He was so scared of us that I felt bad for screaming so loudly earlier. So, I tried to calm it down for her. I'd never met a creature like that before. But they talk at similar frequencies as plants. So we understood each other right away. What a unique and fascinating way to communicate. The librarians were equally in awe. I explained our situation and assured the mimic that we weren't there to hurt them. And with our combined powers as great detectives, authors, and mimic whisperers, we found a solution. They obviously couldn't undo the renovations. Also, the residents loved the glass dome. But to help the mimics feel more at ease, we needed a bit more shade in the library again. So Bear transformed a whole east wing into a botanical garden. It was a fantastic sight. I'd never seen such diverse flora pop up out of nowhere before. Not nowhere? Just nicely asked the tiny algae and spores to the joints if they would like to grow. And they were so eager to grow. It took the mimics approximately half a minute before they explored their new abode. We could hear the rustling of paper throughout the whole library. They did. One even came over to thank us. It was the one that bit me. I'd recognise that purple book cover anywhere. He was very grateful and said the whole colony liked their new home. And he'd also wanted to give us something. You'll never guess what it was, innkeeper. A tooth, a bone, a tooth, a bone, a tooth. So you'll never forget that it bit you? You have a wild imagination, huh? You couldn't be more wrong. Too bad. What was it then? It was the second puzzle piece. Turns out, in their distress, they thought it was edible. I never knew mimics could be so nice. I suppose it's now up to me to change their bad reputation. Sounds like a plan, and a very successful adventure. It gets even better. The librarians and I spent a few hours studying the mechanism, and we figured out that it's supposed to be a sour troop? A zoetrope? Exactly. The upper part has tiny holes in it. The light emitted by the fire spirit shines through and projects moving pictures of light into the walls. And apparently the fire spirit is called the Tempest. It's a powerful fire spirit created by Leviathan. It's associated with wildfire, passion, affection, somehow, and listen to this. Storms. Oh. The storm. The librarians handed us an ancient tome full of information on it. The book contained a dramatic short story about massive storms in the primordial sea that was summoned by upsetting the Tempest. Presumably because Melly opened its enclosure, it got exposed to a world very different from Leviathan's domain, which made it upset. We think the zoo troop was its home, but it's broken, and the spirit has no idea where it is. It's all very scary. Since Zootroop is old and broken now, we can't just put the spirit back. Obviously we need to fix it so we could let the Tempest return to it if it wanted to. But we needed to head back to the surface first. We said goodbye to the librarians and the books and the mimics, of course. And they also picked up a postcard to update the Mary Morgan, as well as a souvenir for Fable's brother, Coriander. Yes, I got Orlando some coral sprigs. Well, that's quite lovely. Indeed, but By then it was almost already the next morning. We were all quite tired, but I was also at least equally worried about the drink's effect wearing off. We definitely needed to get back to the surface as soon as we could, or else we would be stuck in underwater. As soon as we got back to the barrier's seal, the bubbles returned. They were already a bit more translucent than before, but we still had enough time to get back. Or so we thought. Oh, that doesn't sound very promising. It was horrible. At first I could see the bubble around me cracking like broken glass, and then water started rushing in. It was so cold and wet. I hate being wet. Luckily, we had already made it pretty close to the surface. Bayer's kelp strands quickly pulled us towards the surface and helped us swim back to shore. But the weird storm made it so very difficult to navigate. Even though I'd read so much about how to always find north, I was completely lost. And well, we accidentally swam east instead of north. I was really confused where my swamp had gone, or why there was such a huge city in front of us. But I'd recognize that skyline anywhere. We were accidentally stranded in Zofford. You know, I've been back to the city a few times since my quest there, so I knew a pretty solid tavern where we could spend the night. It was a recommendation from the familiars. In the morning, we sat down to discuss our next steps. I really wanted to fix the zoetrope, but when I pulled it out of my pocket, it must have come into contact with the sea when we swam back to the surface. The water seeping into the cracks must have corroded parts of the ancient metal. Several pieces of it probably broke off while we were swimming, and now they're lost in the ocean somewhere. And our two parts don't fit together anymore. I really wanted to fix it. We weren't sure what to do, so we came back here. Innkeeper, could I maybe order a drink now? Of course. Do you already have a drink in mind? Yes, I would like to order a hot chocolate. One hot chocolate coming right. Oh, wait, I would like an extra fancy hot chocolate, like with glitter or marshmallows on top. Sadly, I'm fresh out of marshmallows. Oh. But I could substitute them for some gooseberries. They pop in your mouth when bitten into, and add a fun twist to your drink. Oh. Yes, I'd love some of those. Very well. Gooseberries. Hot chocolate and gooseberries, but undo. Hot chocolate. Gooseberries. Alright, so we need extra of this. And one of this. Hot chocolate. Thanks, Undo. Pat, 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 pat. How's your hot chocolate? I love it. It's sweet and warm and perfect. I just had an idea. The zoetrope is made of citron and ancient metal and seems connected to the dragons, right? What if you just reforge the pieces you lost with a little bit of divine help? We forged a powerful sword once. The zoetrope might require some more finesse, but it isn't necessarily harder to do. Now that you mention it. But isn't Miss Rhea exploring the caves of Yore with Kyle at the moment? If I remember correctly, it was her who forged Celerim's legendary weapon. That's true. I don't think we'll be able to reach her anytime soon. Maybe Una can help. She's an engineer, and she's very smart and good with metal. I want to argue with that, but I can't. And if we need divine help, we can go to that dragon temple in the Highlands. The one that doesn't have the ever-burning flame anymore, but they should still know a thing or two about forging divine things. Maybe they even have a secret ancient metal or a modern substitute. Ooh, I've been to that temple. It's a very cold place with a very large, is that Guavia? But it's definitely worth a try. Do you actually think we can fix this? I'm scared that I messed up big time and that the storm might be here forever and that it's all my fault. There's always a solution. Bad things happen. There's always a solution, sure. Sometimes fixing a mistake can result in unforeseen changes. But without change, we would never grow. Plus, not so long ago, you helped stop the world from ending. I think you've got this. How about you start by visiting the Varakan Dragon Temple, and you can figure things out from there. Thank you, Innkeeper, for believing in me. I'll go ask you Una for help. I'm sure she'll have some fun ideas. Sounds like a plan. See you later, Innkeeper. Good luck. I think I should follow her. Oh dear. I'm scared she'll get lost in the storm. I'll also have to check on Voy and my aunts. Take good care of yourself, Bea. Will do. And you, up for a trip to the Highlands and building a snowman? No, I fear this might be the end of the adventure for me. I have met Theo's parents. I have to meet Theo's parents tomorrow. I wouldn't want to miss that. Who knows how many tea and cake days we have left together. But please, do let me know about the results of their quest. You can count on me. Thank you very much. But before I leave, after all that talking, I'm in dire need of a drink, dear Innkeeper. Of course, anything specific in mind? Maybe something that'll steel my vocal cords for recruiting more assistants to protect me from a sore throat tomorrow morning. Leave it to me. Steel tonic, perhaps? Yeah, steel tonic. The sea troop is broken, but beyond repair, but not beyond repair. Maybe all it needs is a stubborn engineer and some helpful priests from the Highlands. Wind weather patterns. Okay. Gotta think about what to put in this drink. Steel tonic is defense. Maybe protection. Blessed? Yeah, we could do a blessed steel tonic. Draw it. The citron. One, two. One. And one. Thanks, undo. Pat, 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 pat. Sparkly eyes. Liquid steel, just for you. Thank you very much. This is exactly what I needed. I can really feel the itch. I can already feel the itching in my throat subsiding. Until then, innkeeper. New quest, new quest. There we go. Right. We've got the quest up. Is that the end of our day? And that's the end of our day and the end of the episode. Thanks everyone for hanging out and watching and following along the DLC. I don't know where it will take us or what will happen. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Look at the weather, that's crazy! The weather is crazy! Alright, let's save it. Okay, back to the main menu. Pop on the end screen. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the next episode. And in the light of giving and receiving, I honour you.